listening to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
There's so much that goes on behind closed doors.
On WCPT 820.
Yeah, there is. That's why we need to have more Democrats, more progressives, more liberals behind those closed doors. And one way to get that done in D.C. is to elect Josh Weil, who's running for Congress. He's out of Orlando. Thank you so much for joining us, Josh. I know it's an incredibly busy time. How's it going out there, my friend?
Going great. It's exhausting, but that's what happens when you're doing the work. Everything we could have hoped it would be right now.
Excellent. And now the election is coming up. Is that on April 1st?
April 1st, about 3.5 weeks away.
And this is it. Is this for the seat, or this is like a step in toward the seat? It's not a primary, is it?
No. We won our primary back on January 28th. This
Excellent.
is for the seat. We were just saying, I'm so incredibly grateful this is in Georgia, where, we've got the chance that if, some third-party candidate gets 1% and we split it at 49.5, we got to do it again. This is top vote getter takes all.
Head to head. There you go. So I know that, there's so much involved. There's the door knocking, the phone banking, not phone banking. You have to do the, call time, asking people to, dig deep as much as they can, having events. How much has changed since the inauguration and the energy and the support that you're receiving?
So before the inauguration, we were averaging around $50,000 to $60,000 a day, and that basically doubled immediately. We didn't have a sub 100. Actually, we haven't had a sub 100K day since the inauguration. We've hit highs of this last weekend after the Oval Office meeting with Zelensky. We had $1 million weekend as a result of it. Trump, he may be a lot of things, but he is one hell of a fundraiser for us. I'll give him that.
Wow. Yeah, I believe it. How about the conversations that you're having? Because this is what a lot of Democrats were warning about, was this unhinged, erratic behavior. Today alone with this convening with the secretaries of different departments saying that Elon's not in charge. It's chaotic. Are you hearing feedback from folks about, I know we all want it to stop, but specifically in your area, because it is such a Ron DeSantis, Trump, territory, what are you hearing?
On the Dem side, absolutely. The Dems are like, look at this chaos. Oh, my God, our country's going to burn. On the Republican side, it's a lot more about personal impact. And it's one of the things, he had this fast and furious kind of shock and awe set of trying to destroy absolutely everything as quickly as possible, that it appears the plan was to desensitize people. Like, there's so much going on, you can't really feel any of it. But the flaw in that logic seems to be that, some of these people out in District 6, you got a nice 70-year-old retiree out there. They might not take it personally about FEMA. They might not take it personally about the Department of Education. They might not take it personally about going after women's rights over their body. They might not take it, right? But eventually, if you keep destroying systems, you hit one that affects them. And for a lot of our residents in this district, it's Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. And they are upset. They are really concerned. They are scared because they voted for economic relief. They voted because the fixed income wasn't cutting it month to month. And now their fixed income might get cut by up to 28%.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that message is cutting through. It's hard because it's kind of a slow process in the sense, even though everything's happening so fast, there are people that are still resistant to it. So I'm glad to hear that it's getting through. What are some of the ways that we can help you, even all the way from Chicago?
So we have volunteers from Chicago. We have volunteers last night, we got our first volunteer sign up from Fairbanks, Alaska, and we now have volunteers from all 50 states and Puerto Rico. But we built an incredibly large system. We really made sure we had the capacity to support people who wanted to come in, and it's been tough keeping up with it, but we're getting 500 to 600 people signing up through our website or our Mobilize every day. So you can go onto joshweil.us. There are volunteer links on there. You can sign up to do postcarding. You can sign up to do phone banking, to do text banking, any way to contact voters, people living in this district, make sure that They know there's an election on April 1st. They know what's at stake and who the candidate is to help us turn out the vote.
And in addition to, obviously pushing back against this move toward basically a dictatorship, what are the messages? What is your pitch to people to remind them of why this is so important? Because this is really an opportunity to claw back at least the Congress, right?
Yeah, and I mean, the main thing I'm selling people is myself, just a public school teacher of 13 years. In public schools, we don't pick and choose which kids we serve. We take care of all of them. We make sure everyone gets an education. We make sure everyone gets what they need. And that's the mentality that our elected representatives should have. Your representative should be there to serve and protect you. They should be looking out for your interests, not theirs, when they're voting in Congress. On top of that, we have messages of building systems to actually take care of people. I think because with whichever party's been in charge, we've done such a weak job of really solving problems over the last 30 years or so of building new systems that can actually take care of people. A lot of voters were frustrated when they see, how do we go $4 trillion over and we still have homeless vets, and we still have a VA system that backs up for months, and we still don't have, a working healthcare system without insurance companies obstructing access, and we don't have good transportation systems or bridges, and we don't have clean water in places, and we don't have, all of these things. How could you spend $4 trillion over and not fix any one of those problems for us? Trump and Musk sold them on that they were going to cut the fat. And now, they're freezing all these funding, and they're cutting, firing, laying off all these people. And a lot of the residents a lot of the people who voted for Trump are realizing that they're what he thinks the fat is.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And that's breaking through for folks, though?
It is.
Good.
It is. It's not the same thing for everyone.
Right.
Sure. We did a VFW haul about a week and a half ago, which is, not usually the friendliest territory for a Dem candidate.
Sure.
And had 4 different people before I even went up to speak come over and tell me that, in the 48 hours since the first round of layoffs of all the doctors and nurses in VA, they'd had upcoming doctor's appointments or scheduled operations pushed back 4 to 6 months.
Wow.
They saw the connection. They put on Fox News and saw, thousands of cuts. They're cutting all these administrators to the VA. And then 3 hours later got a phone call. Hey, your VA appointment's been pushed back to July. They can connect the dots.
Sure.
And we left that room with more than half the crowd cheering and supporting me, which is wild.
That is wild.
A Dem in a VFW hall.
Man. Well, again, folks, you've got to, we talk about what's going on around the country, especially from a blue state, whether it's Illinois or Minnesota, it's not over. I know a lot of people feel adrift or overwhelmed by all of the news. And as Congressman Quigley said in the last hour, you got to put on a brave face, pace yourself. What do you do? What do you do, Josh, to sort of pace yourself? I know it's hard because you're in the campaign. So I can't.
God.
I mean, are you able to meditate or, do something to have a laugh and make sure you recharge yourself? I know you have a beautiful family. What do you do to take care of yourself?
It doesn't stop. We try to find time. We try to find if there's a half day where an event or something fell through. My first instinct is to jump in and go out and knock doors. But, if it's been a week or more since I've had a day off, they'll try to slide me over to rest. We had something cancel Sunday afternoon and had my kids. They're here with me this week. And so it was just like, you know what, you're done. My campaign manager was like, you're done. You need this. And, so we sat down and we put on Wild Robot. And I just, was able to take a couple hours and enjoy it with my kids. You try to find the time when it pops up because there's so much going on. It's hard to build it.
Yeah, it really is. Well, we are so grateful that you're doing this. And whenever you need to do a last push or check in with us again and make sure folks know about your campaign and get their support. For folks who maybe are tuning in, remind us the district in the area.
Yep. This is Florida's 6th district, goes from Daytona Beach up to St. Augustine and then all the way west to Ocala. We have a special election to fill the vacant seat in U.S. Congress on April 1st. It's incredibly important. The 3 special elections this year will determine which party controls the House. Mm-hmm. And taking back the House, it's the number one thing we can do to not just block ensuing legislation for Project 2025, but it gives us back chairmanship of the committees.
Yes.
Right now, the reason Elon Musk is running wild through the departments and accessing people's private data and firing people that, he has no business firing is because the Republicans oversee the House Oversight Committee, and there is no oversight coming from there. We take back chairmanships and we control the Oversight Committee, and Elon Musk is locked out. Done.
I love it. It's joshweil.com, right? JOSHW. No. .us.
JoshWeil.us.
All right. Yes.
JoshWeil.us.
See, I got ahead of myself there. JoshWeil.us. It's WEIL. JoshWeil.us. Reach out anytime, and we wish you the very best because no pressure. I mean, just saying, a lot hinges on you. Go get them. We're grateful that you're running and proud to welcome you on the show. So we look forward to talking to you again soon.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Patty.
Thank you. Take care.